Hello, everyone. I'm Mrinal, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone all across the globe. I'm
And
Mrinal
I'm
from.
Vishesh. And I am Vishesh from the Outreach Team 2021 of SSERD. And today,
I'm from the
we're the
same
host.
team.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
and today we are the host for the evening.
yes. So, a new door cannot be opened until you have closed or you have the courage to close the one behind you. Similarly, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. SSERD remains dedicated to promoting space science among the community and creating awareness about the current innovations budding in this sector, with programs for all kinds of audiences from of all age groups. We stay focused on the three core principles, that is, educate, innovate, and inspire, because the space revolution has begun. Well, this evening we have a speaker who has quite an interesting individual as well. He is an experienced multi and interdisciplinary scientist, engineer, inventor, and a lifelong learner with an everlasting interest in encouraging diversity through educational outreach and interdisciplinary projects in the areas of physiology, immunology, and medicine, along with engineering aspects such as rocket and space systems, microgravity experimentation, nanotechnology. That's quite a long list with a very wide set of interests. I welcome Dr. Anand Sunny Narayan with great enthusiasm. Mr. Sunny, the stage is all yours.
For your very kind introduction and your very uh, thorough background. Thank you all for actually having me, and a special thank you to those at the Society for Space Education, Research, and Development for providing me the opportunity to be involved with your program today and to provide closing remarks for this wonderful program. So I'm actually share my screen as well. So, as Vishesh had highlighted about the SSERD program, the program includes words I love quite deeply: education, research, and development. Education, most of all. Why? Well, my perspective on education is that the intent being to acquire knowledge for us not to only understand our universe, but to help guide each of us through the universe based from our unique, diverse perceptions and experiences, as we all view the world very differently. Today, I'll share a little bit about my journey, an immigrant in America of Indian descent, whose mother's roots are from North India and father's from South India, intertwined together to shape my own inter and multidisciplinary lens of our universe. I'm a first generation scholar, the first in my family to go to university, graduate, and then go on for a doctorate, and to continue now with interest to become a professor. Why? Simple: to support the next generation of STEAM students, such as you all, aspiring of reaching for the stars, like I did at the start of my academic journey many years ago. I started with no knowledge, nothing. Did not have anyone really look up to who would understand what it was to figure out one's journey as a first generation Indian immigrant who aspired of reaching for the stars. Though, thanks to an education and many individuals along my way, I am now enriched with experience, having reached the stars, now privileged really to join you all and look at you all today to share this moment as we come to conclude this wonderful program celebrating our accomplishments and achievements with our human space exploration journey. But why do we embark on this journey for the stars? I probably don't need to ask this question to most of you, but it's an important one to think about from time to time. And of course, many different answers to this question, none of which are right or wrong, but are simply each of our uh, own unique perspectives as we join together to reach for the stars. So I'll share mine. For we reach for the stars not just to learn more about our universe, but through this journey, we really learn a lot more about ourselves. And throughout our recent celebrations, we have learned space exploration is very diverse and a lot about ourselves, in addition to about our universe. We've learned about how our universe came about from the Big Bang to what it may be made up of, such as dark matter. We've learned about our search for life in our universe, as well as other planets like our own, though all unique and different, as example of how precious and rare the conditions of life may be, as a reminder to take care of our own planet Earth. We've learned about how by working together we can build engineering marvels and travel into space through rockets and send satellites into space as well that enable us to have this global celebration and meet together from all across the planet in a way never done before. These are all but just a few examples of why we should explore space at all. All of these lead to discovery of new knowledge, engineering of new systems, and invention of new ideas, encouraged by our adventurous and entrepreneurial curiosity, all of which are incredibly challenging, though at the same time, space exploration being humanity's greatest challenge. Though as we have shown through our celebrations this week, no challenge cannot be overcome if we strive together to make the right decisions as we reach for the stars, together as a team. Space exploration is an effort that requires all disciplines: science, communication, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, law, business, among many more. Though perhaps most times you may think of these disciplines as very separate and different. I think space exploration provides us the opportunity to remind ourselves these are more interconnected than these disciplines are more interconnected than what we normally think. And by example, space exploration provides a platform to show how different disciplines, when combined, can do incredible feats together. Though this is challenging, that's why we also do it. It's because it's a challenge. And by solving these challenges, we learn not just about our universe, but through this journey, we learn about ourselves. For as we travel into space, we learn about ourselves not just figuratively, but literally. And this is an area that I now specialize in the context of space medicine and life sciences. This field is very much about the study of us and how we adapt to the challenges of space. And this idea was just a dream for me during my childhood years. The picture of me many years ago, before starting my space journey, but very much inspired by space. As you may note by the shirt I was wearing of the space shuttle. The idea of space medicine, life sciences fascinated me, but I wondered if even a topic such as this existed. I was fascinated by medicine, engineering, and space, but had no clue if these areas could all be combined. That's sometimes the beauty of dreams, to discover them to be a reality, even if one may think they're just imaginary. How did I discover my dreams to be a reality? Through opportunity, open-mindedness, eagerness to learn, and learning from failure. Today, I'll share a bit about my journey with our human space exploration efforts, how I turned my dreams into reality, and from this journey, learned a lot about myself. I began my journey with our human space exploration efforts by engineering machines at the NASA Katherine Johnson Independent Verification Validation Facility in West Virginia, shown here with a map of the United States. And on the bottom left is a picture of the facility with my very first project at this facility shown on the right. I spent many years there, starting in high school and continuing while in college, blessed to be involved with many projects, including NASA's Space Launch System, Perseverance rover, James Webb Space Telescope, among many others. Though my most memorable experience from my time at this NASA center was the opportunity to interact, work, and learn from professionals from diverse backgrounds and experiences, joining together for our human space exploration efforts. Though while I enjoyed rocket science, I had very much an appreciation of the study of life and health. So through biology, I learned about life here on Earth, though still wondering how life on Earth adapts while in space. So I had the opportunity to study biology, enabled by programs such as the Ronald McNair Scholars Program, a program created by a family of first-generation astronauts to support first-generation students, such as myself, to obtain early exposure and experience in academic careers. This early exposure shaped my career trajectory to what it is now, highlighting how impactful it can be to get involved in education early on, and was also incremental to my interests in becoming an interdisciplinary researcher. Where NASA fostered and supported my curiosity, also including a project designing, building, and flying experiments on aircraft that simulates weightlessness in space. My team and I were not only conducting experiments to study the effects of the weightless environment, but I also experienced microgravity. This was an incredible moment in my life, for it provided me with the eureka moment to recognize, by experiencing the effects of microgravity themselves, that the field of space medicine and life sciences was not just a personal dream of mine, but a reality, all made possible by educational opportunities. And with this discovery made, I continued my academic steps by moving to Texas, the heart of human space exploration, supported by the National Space Biomedical Research Institute, for my doctorate to study the medical and life science adaptations of astronauts during their journey into space. Though my research focused of studying how we adapt to being in space through studies of the immune system, bones, muscles, heart, brains, among many more, as our entire bodies adapt to being in space in a way that doesn't really do so here on Earth. So again, we learn a lot about ourselves as we travel into space. But through my research, I also discovered how these adaptations helped us learn about medical conditions here on Earth and made discoveries in disease conditions and invented cures for these conditions. Life on Earth directly benefits from our adventure into space. And the opposite is true as well, with space medicine and life science being a great example of this. I also had many adventures here on Earth with my space medicine studies, conducting experiments at unique science facilities, including Brookhaven National Lab, International Space Station spaceflight projects, and with picture here on the top left of us at Kennedy Space Center in preparation for our launch. The picture on the bottom right here is a picture of the actual rocket that has our science experiment on board. And then on the top right is a picture of the whole team at Kennedy Space Center after launch, waiting for our experiments to return. And we even had our own flight path shown here on the bottom left. And also having the opportunity to be involved at NASA Kennedy Space Centers and Johnson Space Centers with a huge group of diverse individuals from all across the United States and all across the world, really, studying and supporting our human space exploration efforts in so many ways. For example, there are habitats that study how astronauts or crew adapt to being in space environment. There are special cars, so to speak, that crew will use in their journey in space. There's, of course, unique launch habitat that the astronauts stay while they're on board of a rocket. And there are facilities that simulate the space environment. Huge pools that are submerged with habitats like the top on the bottom left that astronauts wear their suits, get into, and then train for events before they go actually into space. Of course, sometimes we can pretend to be astronauts ourselves in spacesuit mock-ups as well. So now as a postdoc, I continue to support NASA's space program, supporting multiple biomedical studies, investigating the physiological effects of deep space radiation, lunar and Martian gravity, relevant to our human space exploration goals as we return to the moon and beyond through our Artemis project. With my closing remark, I'd like to ask you all, as we return to the moon together, to think about our next steps together. Why do we return? Do we return with similar questions and challenges as we faced before? Or have we learned from our experiences when we first went to the moon together decades ago, now with answers and new questions to help us all grow? So what dreams do all of you have that make education and opportunity perhaps get turned into reality? Think about these questions and the answers to these questions that you have to learn and you have to answer about what we should be thinking about as we aim to work together for the benefit of all, as we return to our moon, whichever moon that may be for each of us, from our own unique and diverse perspectives. So thank you for your time and attention today, and congratulations to you all to the conclusion of a wonderful SSERD program. And I look forward to seeing each of your dreams become a reality in the future. Ad Astra.
Wasn't that quite interesting? Thank you for the talk, Dr. Sunny. We will get right back to you for a tiny panel discussion once we move ahead throughout the program. Well, next, we have a passionate individual who loves to travel across India to inspire children, encourage amateur astronomers to contribute to science, and to share astronomy knowledge with his people. Trained as a radio astronomer with masters in physics, he has been professionally into science and astronomy communication for more than 15 years now. With his love to share the excitement, practicalities, and challenges of science and astronomy with everyone, he has been awarded the national level Zubin Kembawi Award for the outreach by the ASI for his work. I heartily welcome Mr. Samir to carry ahead with his talk. The E stage is all up for you. Okay, there. Okay, a small glitch there, I guess. Okay, the audience. Well, thank you for staying with us all this time. There is a small technical issue there, so why don't we just move ahead and come back to Mr. Sunny now, Mr. Sami, because all the speakers here are quite interesting with their backgrounds, with their passions and all of that. So I'll next move ahead to the next speaker that we have, who is who, like, if we have a ladder of passion, who stands on top of it. Well, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion, for your passion will lead you right into your purpose. Welcoming now to the E stage, we have Mr. Sujay Sreedhar. While speaking of his experience, Sujay is a co-founder and chairman of Society for Space Education, Research and Development. Having an experience at HAL, Air India, he has a unique talent to develop innovative ideas and bring them to life, primarily focused on aerospace and STEM education worldwide. With having reached more than 50,000 students through various space programs of SSERD, Sujay is now dedicating his time to GenX Space as Managing Director and CEO, focusing on providing space education and career guidance for school and university level students. Uh, With excitement, I now welcome Mr. Sujay to the E podium. Over to you, Sujay.
Thank you so much, Vishesh. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Um, so, first of all, I want to thank all of you who are there and is a part of last 14 days. All of you been here for the outreach program, and now for the workspace program and the outreach program. You've been all part of the programs, and you know about what activities, what we are doing, how our programs are, and all those things. So today I want to take my time on introducing our new venture. I'm sure at least some of you have heard of this name before, also been listening to that name over and over again, and you'll have a lot of questions what it is, or why that particular entity is there. All those questions will be there. I wanted to take the time and talk about that particular thing. So space as this is one of the lines which I always starts with whenever I'm talking about the company, or when we talk about SSERD, or when we talk about space in general, or why space education is important. This is one of the lines which I start with. Space excites everyone. So that is one of the main reasons why we started SSERD back in 2016. We've been learning a lot. We've been understanding what are the requirements by the students, where can we help, how can we bridge that gap between academia and the companies, academic, like students, to come into the space industry, because there is a general perception that space is something which is too far away, or it is not reachable by common public. We wanted to change that perception, and that is how we started with SSERD. And along the way, we understood, okay, if changing the university students mindset, it's one challenge. If we need to achieve that goal, what we need to do is reach out to the school students and guide them on the right path, so that they can achieve, at least they can reach that place. I'm sure when we go to any schools or any classrooms and we ask students, okay, what you want to be, there'll be a couple of people who would say, at least few of them will say, okay, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a scientist in ISRO, or I want to be a pilot. But the fact remains that there is not a lot of people who can give guidance on how do we reach that particular point. That is where it all started. Now, winding like around 4 5 years into the future in 2020, we with all the learning what we have at SSERD, all the learning we've been, all the things which you learned, how to work with students, how do we do programs, all lot of things we studied everything from the basics, and all these learnings we converted into a private company. It's called GenX Space, where we focus on providing space education. So over there in GenX Space, what we do is we provide individual attention to the students, and we always prefer learning by building also. It's all basically practical knowledge. It's like if they want to build or learn about rockets, they actually build the rocket, they fly it, and then they figure out, okay, how the rocket is flying, why is it flying, or what can things go wrong. All those things they are studying over there. Okay, so that is the practical aspects of it. So once you learn about space, how do we go forward? So when it comes to university students, they are also in a confusion. Okay, what do I do next after my bachelor's, after my master's? Everyone knows, okay, I should do bachelor's. Then, I mean, BTech. Then everyone says, okay, I should do my master's. Then what? People are always confused what to do. So we provide personalized career guidance. Okay, telling students, okay, this is one of the streams which you can take if you are interested in this particular area. Okay, they want to become an astronaut. How do you become an astronaut? Or you want to work on rockets. How do you become a rocket scientist for in actual life? Everyone knows, okay, I want to become a rocket scientist, but no one really knows how. So we talk to them, understand what they want to do in their life, give them options, telling, okay, these are the things what you can do, these are the universities you can probably take, and we help them guide those students. And once they complete their university studies, some of them actually comes back and asks us, okay, so now I completed my university studies. Then we provide them with opportunities, because we've been there from a long time. We have this connection with the industry. A lot of startups. Now when you say space, it is not just ISRO. We have a lot of different startups who are coming up, building new technologies, building rockets, building satellites, building cutting edge technologies required for space industry. We can always connect them to the right company. We can connect the talents. We always do that. We connect the talents. Whoever our students are, we connect them with the companies whenever there is a requirement. So these are the few things what we do at GenX Space. And if you are a student, we have programs starting from LKG students. We have one-on-one and group sessions. So when I say one-on-one session, if you are interested in if you need individual attention, we have one-on-one session where one student will be talking to one teacher, and then we have group sessions where one teacher will be talking to not more than four students. So always you get that personalized attention. Also, you will learn everything in a practical way. That is what we focus at GenX Space. So you can go check out all the programs and things what we are doing at genx.space. We will also put it in the description of the YouTube video. And yeah, please check it out. Yes, over to you, Vishesh.
Well, thank you for that, Sujay, that concise briefing on the activities that GenX Space provides and how a student who generally comes out of his education institute can uh, bring himself into the stream of the aerospace stream if needed, or any other stream that is related to space, and how we can move ahead with that, like carve the same path that he or she wants to carve for themselves and move ahead. That is indeed helpful to all the students here. Well, with that being done, we've got the third speaker here on board with us, Mr. Samir. Well, he is an passionate individual who loves to travel across India to inspire children, encourage amateur astronomers to contribute to science, and to share astronomy knowledge with his people. Trained as a radio astronomer with masters in physics, he has been professionally into science and astronomy communication for more than 15 years now. With his love to share the excitement, practicalities, and challenges of science and astronomy with everyone, he has been awarded the national level Zubid Kembawi Award for outreach by ASI for his work. I heartily welcome Mr. Samir to carry ahead with his talk.
Thank you, Ishish. And it's lovely to be here with this great audience, and particularly a program that is aimed at teachers is close to my heart, because for many years now I have been trying to take my favorite subject of astronomy to all kinds of people. But I think the most effective way is to go through our colleagues who are teachers. And so it's a pleasure that I'm getting to be a part of this special outreach program along with my team at the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. And we are able to interact and actually hopefully make some difference in some in the way of teaching for a group of teachers. So of course we are also learning a lot, and we are also very happy and pleased to see the beautiful way the organization has happened, and we congratulate SSERD for this wonderful event. Okay, so that's the formal part, but it's also a heartfelt part. So I thought I should get done with it beforehand. Now, I think I wish I could have been at my computer today. I'm sorry, I'm traveling, so I may not be able to share slides with you. But basically, what we do here in the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics is driven by the great visions of people, in fact, dignitaries, if one would say that, like Professor Jayan Narlikar, and now people like Professor Shomak Rai Chaudhary, and you might have recently heard about the passing away of Professor Tanu Padmanabhan. Now, these are all greats of science and physics and astrophysics and mathematics. So they are such all-rounders. They've proven their brilliance in these fields. But not just that, they've actually made important contributions to these fields in their most effective, most active times. So, but then we also realize, with being in close interaction,
Just like we've got IPL seasons ruined by rain, I guess network is playing a spoil sport in the event today. We'll just get Mr. Samir back on stage. Well, until then, I'd want to invite Dr. Sunny and Mr. Sujay back on the stage for a quick panel discussion. Can I have you back on stage, please? Yes. Okay, we've got even Mr. Samir here. Yes.
Right. So was there some disturbance, because I didn't see anything?
Yes. Yes, you can continue ahead, Mr. Samir.
Okay, sure. So Where did I drop off? If you can remind me quickly.
You just started off with like the IQ and all those activities that you were part of and all that.
I'm sorry.
The part like the activities of IUCA and all that. You just started off with like you finished with thanking SSERD and all that, and then you moved on to your activities there.
Oh wow, that's a lot of. Okay, fine. Let me just mention to you. So I was saying that we are at the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, which is the full form of IUCA, and we are basically carrying forward the visions of some excellent scientists like Professor Jayan Narlikar, Professor Tanu Padmanabhan, Professor Somak Raichaudhary, who is our director now. And the special fact about all of them is that other than being scientists who are making active contribution to their fields and regularly practicing their love for physics, astrophysics, mathematics, etc., they are also people with a vision that if you want to really have a future for any subject, you will need to give enough efforts to make the next generation interested in it, keep their interest, and also find avenues to work in it. So they have been working their whole lifetime, but I think the part of inspiring and motivating the next generation has been that part at least has been given to us at the public outreach program, which we popularly call SciPop. So I'm happy to be representing that group, and our team has been working with SSERD for a while in bringing you these special training workshops, which included not just some activities which might be new to you, but they were also, I hope, something which could generate some curiosity in all the people who attended these workshops. So I also agree with the previous speakers that space is happening now. I also agree with the previous speakers that space is happening now, and there's so much new activity going on, including this new steps to reach the moon and then forward onto Mars and other worlds. So all these things, we need to make the future generation ready for this, and the best way would be to start now, right now, because just look at the changes in the space world. Like 10 years back, we were not even dreaming of sending one rocket to space, sometimes once a year. But I mean, some countries. But right now, there's some of the other countries, some of the other groups sending out rockets and satellites and other things into space almost every 2 weeks or or at least every month. So therefore, there is a definite change in the scenario. And I think in the coming future, if our children are not really trained in understanding the exact facts and understanding the exact goings on in this, let's say, industry or field of space, then they will be underprepared. Okay, and they will lose out in this kind of. It's not a competition, but they'll not be a great contributor to the collaborative effort that is the space, exploration right now. So I really hope that what we have done in the last few days during the training sessions, so we'll be able to see some results from that. And of course, I welcome the teachers to be in touch with us all the time. Our team members are around, and you've been in contact with them. So if you found some things useful, please feel welcome to basically contact us back, and we'll be glad to keep sharing more and more, either through SSERD or otherwise also. Now, one of the things that we sorry, just a minute. So one of the things that we stress is learn it yourself. So that's so we know about DIY, Okay, sorry, I'm just doing this from my phone, so some things are. All right. So I was saying that of course we know DIY, do it yourself, and that kind of that phrase applies to so many things, right? From cooking your own food to learning so doing your own science research. But LIY is something which is more applicable to the student level, where they do things themselves and learn things themselves. So there is a lot of things around us from which people can learn, and be it would be tough to give uh, only a few examples of great scientists who learned things by themselves. Okay, there are almost all scientists who have made any reputation or made any great contribution in their early times. They have had this habit of learn it yourself. So LIY is something we want to always emphasize and also suggest and encourage students to take up. So the the activities which we have tried to share with you are part of these LIY kind of objectives from us. And other than that, of course, astronomy is a subject dear to my heart. And since all of you are joining here for the World Space Week, we should be able to basically uh, uh, portray to you or provide to you some ways in which students can learn astronomy themselves. And this is actually, I would say that it is quite easy, because the playing ground for all this, the sky, the starry sky, okay, or the daytime sky even, is right there, up there. It is not under anybody's control unless there are clouds. But the clear sky is the best place to learn things by yourself. Okay, and the only thing missing is the encouragement, is probably the suggestion that they observe the sky, and maybe a little bit of hand holding, so that students can get that confidence to get that first step done in looking at the sky themselves and learning from it. So this is something, of course, I cannot uh, give a discourse on in 10-15 minutes, but I just wanted to emphasize that astronomy is a field of science, is an applied field of science, and although and also it has a very popular appeal, and hence it is my personal opinion that astronomy can be this bridge between, let's say, things that we learn in school, like physics, okay, sometimes chemistry, mathematics, which as uh, as individual subjects may seem disconnected. Okay, sometimes the connection is missing. But when we see all of these applied in a particular subject, which is very popular among students, and the popularity quotient actually comes from the possibilities of new discoveries. Okay, and that's what drives people the most, I have seen. Of course, it's not that every astronomer who goes into astronomy makes a discovery, but they contribute. Okay, so very recently, 2016, we had the discovery of gravitational wave. 2015, actually, it was detected, and it was announced in 2016, and the Nobel Prize.
Here. So for this discovery, the team, of course, the leaders of the team got the Nobel Prize. But the discovery itself was credited to a team of more than 1,000 scientists. So that's the thing I'm talking about. That also allows to understand the importance of collaboration. We hopefully at this point of time we can take steps that they start being independent, start being people who can learn and have this leadership So this is a great story that I am able to place the table, but some of their words they try to make sense. Uh, so I think I should wish all the best to the teachers who have this, also to all the other and great speakers before. All the best with the team. Also, which to plan about this, what I looking forward to some very special contributions from the future generation, from especially this year, October, celebrate what the year announcement of the to be able to bring them forward, highlight them, guide that. Actually,
Yes. Yes. Are you able to hear me? I guess there is this network fluctuations which are really disturbing the whole of audio, I guess. Could you just check that? Just to check an audio check, after which we'll just move ahead.
yeah,
Mr. Samir, I'm not able to hear you. I still guess that network issues persisting. Okay, fine. We'll just move ahead for now. Thank you, Mr. Samir, thank you for your insightful talk. And now we'll just proceed ahead with the next leg of the event, that is announcement of winners. For announcing the winners, I would request Mr. Sujay to be ready for that. Until then, I guess most of you here will be waiting to know the results because the competition started long time back, a month ago. So now we will first have the results of the university section, followed by the results of school section. Okay, that is how we are going to go. We'll just get the screen ready and up for you to know the results. Yes. May I invite now Mr. Dr. Sunny to go on stage and finally announce the winners. Okay, so this is the first competition we've got for the university section. That is the Ideators Extravaganza, where the participants were asked off to come up with a good solution, a practical solution to reduce the time of travel between Earth and Mars, and also develop ideas which could help in protecting the human bodies for such an exposed, like a long distance travel, which is generally exposed to radiation and all that. So we've got two winners at the first and second place. And yes, we have the winners now.
Congratulations to Preeti Badekar and Shuvik Roy. Congratulations to you both, and winners will receive awards sponsored by Gen X Space and gift vouchers. And fantastic idea, some of my favorite topics. So good for you both.
Yes, so that was the competition one of university section. We had three competitions, each of which having multiple responses and quite inquisitive answers as well. So now we move ahead with the second competition that was for the university section. That was the imaginative space design. Yes, and we've got one winner for that, for this particular competition, and that is
Congratulations to Simol Lakhani for winning the imaginative space design.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sunny, for that. And finally, we move on to the third competition. That is, we had Ideators Extravaganza, Imaginative Space Design, and finally, the Fictioneer's Fortress, where you had to come up with an imaginative, very creative script based on the topic that we gave. And let's see who the winner is. Maybe have the winner.
Congratulations to Danusha for winning the Fictionaires Fortress competition.
Yes, congratulations to all the four winners of the Ideators Extravaganza, Fictionist Fortress, and Imaginative Space Design. We request you to mail back, like we will reach out to you where we would need details such as address, such that we can provide you with the necessary prizes. So check your emails as and when you might receive a mail. Please respond quickly. Now, as we move to the next section, we've got a tiny but an exciting panel discussion ahead. We've already got Dr. Sunny here, and I also request Mr. Sujay to join on board. Yes. Hello again, Sujay.
Hello.
Yes.
Good to see you,
We've
Sujay.
got a few questions. Yes. Okay. We've got a few questions which I'll be just shooting your way. The first one is people like generally we are enthusiasts, like we are all, I don't know. You guys, you have so many adjectives just to describe that, but fascinated by the whole thing, whole concept of space. And once we finish our class 12, we have to choose if we have to move into like pure stream, like pure sciences or the applied sciences of engineering. But if a person has just interest in space, how is that student supposed to choose astrophysics as their background, like as for their future studies, or move into aerospace engineering?
Okay, whom do you want? I guess Dr. Sunny can go first, and then I'll add on if there is anything else.
Certainly. So, great question. There are many topics related to getting involved with space projects. And Sujai had highlighted earlier that space is becoming more accessible, more than ever before. And I agree 100% with that. When I was an undergraduate student, thinking about what area I wish to be involved with space, there are certainly many options. But now as a student, it's 100 times more than that. So in addition, it can be also a little bit. It can be challenging to think about a specific subject or topic. A couple areas, a couple thoughts I had when I was thinking about getting involved with space was one: what is an area that has a lot of opportunities to get involved with? Are there a lot of opportunities to get involved with aerospace or spacesuit design and habitat construction and space law and space food or medicine, astrophysics? There's really so researching and seeing which subject has more than others is one thing to consider. And then also, these are all very challenging subjects. Uh, and in college, getting exposed to maybe some of these and seeing which ones are challenging, but also one may find happy to complete that challenge. And after completing the challenge, identifying that this wasn't that challenging at all, really, after figuring it out. And as one continues to do that, those challenges become easier and easier until one is an expert. And then it becomes no longer a challenge, it becomes an everyday routine almost. So thinking about it and approaching that and getting involved with different opportunities to early. Getting involved early is also critical. To think about these different options and then focusing. So really, getting involved with space is really no good or bad option. I think they're all really fascinating and fantastic, and are really all needed to support our space project. And the trick really is more identifying one that is that an individual, every student may find unique to them versus another student.
Okay, so I think Dr. Sunny put it in the right format. one additional thing which I can add on is you just need to think what you are really interested in at that point of time, or what do you think you would be interested in, and then proceed. Because okay, let me take my where I was in my when I was in 12th. So till my 12th I was really interested in developing softwares. I've been in my 12th I've been doing a lot of software development, and at the last moment I decided, okay, you know what I want to do is work with airplanes. That is how I ended up taking my program, and I went about my career. See where you want to be and what you would enjoy doing in your life. And another thing is, what I can give a suggestion is, explore and read more, talk to people who are in that field, and see what are the perks, or what they think about it. Don't take everything at face value. Just it is all depending on the perspective of people. Some people say, okay, this field is good, this field is not that great, but it may not be the case. It may just be for them, that particular case it is really good for them, it may be really bad for them. Like, it all depends. Now, adding on to that, you have to do your own research. You have to understand or get an idea of how that particular field is. If you are given an opportunity, like especially in the case of space, we are doing a lot of activity, we are doing a lot of internship programs, we are giving a lot of projects and things. Find organizations such as us. I mean, if you are not able to find, always you can reach out to us. We will always help you on in this particular case. So try exploring or giving a hands-on approach to all this space. Like, if you want to become, or if you want to explore aerospace, try taking up projects or doing things on that area. Or if you think, okay, astrophysics might be something which I'm interested in, try taking up some programs in astrophysics, and see if that is your cup of tea. Because you may have interest in it, but it may not be that easy for you. Because especially me, I another example I can give you is, I'm not that great with mathematics. And when you are talking about astrophysics or anything, you need a lot of mathematics. There are certain skills which you require for each of this field, and you need to actually explore that, comparing to your skills which is there. If you are willing to learn all that necessary skills, then you can choose the right field for you. That is I think that is the right, that is approach you should take. It varies from person to person, but generally that is approach you should take.
Okay, so both of those were insightful answers on how we can actually choose a particular stream to move ahead. Yes. So the next question that we've got is, how can astronomy, the whole field of astronomy, be brought to the grassroots levels of the society? Because generally, like affording a telescope or something is not easy, and most of the urban population is able to afford or like get in touch with organizations such as SSERD, and like they're able to find a way. But then the ones who are in rural areas, they have ideas, they have the dreams, but how can the as whole of astronomy, the concept of astronomy, be be brought down to them?
Okay, so I think if there is a saying, if you have a will, there is always a way. Okay, so if they think, okay, I can't afford to buy a telescope, you can always build one by yourself. It's not that difficult to, now, since all of us are very much we are exposed to all this online media, online classes and things. I think there is no differentiation between in an urban setting or a rural setting. We don't have much difference, because they have that access thanks to COVID. You can utilize a lot of opportunities online, use a lot of resources online. There are softwares which will simulate the night sky. If you are really keen on it, I know a lot of people who have built their own telescope, which is really amazing. And you can also do that, especially when it comes to the telescope part. Or if you are interested in astrophotography, there are online certain websites which will actually let you control a remote control telescope, take photographs, like let you explore space on your wish. A lot of opportunities are there online, or always you can reach out to us. We can help you in any way possible. But there are resources which is already there in place. You just need to take your time and find it and utilize those resources.
Thanks, Sujay, for highlighting this. And to add on what Sujay had mentioned, um, are that there are certainly, I really appreciate the comment of resources and content available, and but also connectivity. Our online universe provides us to connect across spaces, whether in cities or rural communities, and there are circumstances where um, it can be challenging to do astronomy in the middle of a city due to light pollution. That is more helpful to be in a rural environment for astronomy, and so forth. So, uh, our the internet and social media, I think, provide a great platform for everyone to connect that have an interest in astronomy and then work together in sharing those resources and identifying ways to increase accessibility also to those resources. For example, if there are if there's a group of students interested in sharing an astronomy telescope in a rural community, then connecting that with uh, the internet or a phone by taking snapshots with someone's phone of the telescope, what the telescope is observing, and then sharing that information with students um, in the city, and then having a platform to develop and um, communicate about that those images and think about what would we like to maybe take an image of next. What was the result of this image, and I think that is another perhaps approach that increases accessibility for students. And I think the internet and social media are a great way for students that share that interest to reach out to each other and learn how we can um, all get involved with topics like that.
Okay, so like it was Sujay telling if you don't have a path, you better create one and move ahead with your stream. And also with like Sunny telling, there are so many other mediums through which you can reach out and finally gain the access to what you want. That's how like people have to like if they've got the passion, they have to use that passion and like direct the passion somewhere. Only then will they move ahead to the next step. Okay, so there is another question which seems hypothetical, at least for now, the current generation. But then, when can we see space colonies and the to and fro service to space colonies? Like what generation? Like our generation? Will it be our generation which is going to have that, like that experience, or will it be the next generation, like 25 years ahead or something like that?
Well, my short answer to that question is let's turn the hypothetical into reality question. It's really any generation's motivation, as it'll require all generations to really make that a reality. I think the youngest generation, of course, has most passion, enthusiasm, and energy to focus and learn and how to make that feasible in a reality. Um, and but of course, uh, learning from previous experiences and thinking about solutions that have already worked, but also new solutions that work to make that more of a reality at a quicker pace is certainly an important conversation point too.
Okay, actually, that is an interesting question, and Sunny put it a really nice way. Um, I think, I mean, at least I am one of those people who are hoping that will happen in our own generation. And since Elon Musk is working so hard for that to happen, let's hope for the best and let that happen in our generation itself. And let's go to Mars. I am someone who's actually looking forward to going to Mars one day. So let's hope for the best.
Yes, we'll all join you on that journey.
Yeah.
All of us are passionate for once. Yes, so with that, I'd want to wrap up the panel, the mini panel. Though it was a tiny panel, calling it mini, but then with your opinions and your answers, I guess that was big. That depends on the perspective again. Anyway, So now, like as we proceed through the evening, I'd now want to hand over the stage to my co-host Runal. Runal, the stage is all yours. And thank you, Mr. Dr. Sani and Sujay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunny, for joining. Thank you.
Of
Thank
course,
you
thank
so
you,
much,
Sujay.
We'll
Dr.
start
Sani
from
and Sujay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, moving forward, now I would like to ask a question to every space enthusiast out there. And the question is, as an astrophile, what space merchandise would you like to have? So, we are excited for your responses coming down there in the chat box. And as we are talking about the space merchandise, for space lovers, I would like to inform about DSpace. DSpace is ISRO's official merchandise and collectibles for space lovers in general, and ISRO fans in specific. So, to know more about space, DSpace, I would like to invite Mr. Shrikant Acharya, the CEO of Orphanage.com, a leading corporate gifting and merchandise company. They have been awarded the opportunity to produce and distribute ISRO official merchandise, which they are executing through DSpace. So I would like to invite Mr. Acharya to the screen.
Hi, Mrinal. Good
Thank you
evening.
so much.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Super excited to be here. All right. So, thank you, Mrinal. Thanks for that introduction, and I'm super excited. To be a partner and to be a sponsor for the corporate gift, the merchandise partner for this event, and it's been going on for 2 weeks. It's really interesting, and I've got to learn a lot. And I love the last conversation that happened with Sujay and Dr. Sani and Vishesh. I really hope in this generation we get to go to Mars, or at least take a short trip somewhere closer to the moon or something like that, right? That seems more likely. In that context, I want to talk a little bit about TheSpace. TheSpace.com is an official ISRO merchandise partner. Like Brunal said, it's a it's a website where you can order your own merchandise, things like t-shirts and bottles and mugs and all of those kind of things, which can act as memorabilia to help you stay connected to your mission, to your purpose, and give you some hope that something positive is happening. But beyond just merchandise like notebooks and pens and all of those kind of things, we are working on curating and adding a lot more products that will be a lot more meaningful, lot more educative as well. For example, we are right now we're in the pre-launch phase for scaled models of PSLV and GSLV, a couple of those different models, different rocket models. So there's a scaled models, 1:300 and 1:250 kind of scale models which are there. You can visit the website and you can place an order. It's a fantastic memorabilia to have on your desk or to gift to somebody who's a space nerd. All these years, I'm sure a lot of us wanted to have those scale models on our hand, but ISRO just did not give it out. Now here's your opportunity. Besides that, we are also introducing DIY 3D books, which is for kids about 10 years, where we are going to introduce three models, two rockets and Aryabhata, which is going to be coming very soon, maybe another 20 to 30 days. It's going to come in, which is basically a book where you have the drawings and the cutouts and everything, and you can hand assemble it together and make it into a 3D model which you can keep on your desk, which will hopefully inspire you to keep looking up at the skies and keep achieving something awesome. We're also working on merchandise like zero gravity pens, so pens that will remind you, kind of inspire you to think about zero gravity situations. These are basically pens which will write in any angle, and you don't need the pen pointed downwards. So this is what we are doing. We are creating a series of merchandise. The first one, that's already out, is a series called Start Small, Think Big, inspired by ISRO's own journey, which started in the 1960s, 1969, somewhere around that, where we've all seen images of people carrying the sounding rockets and different satellites and different accessories and instruments that are required on bicycles and on bullock carts, right? So we've turned that into a series of merchandise called uh, Start Small but Think Big. And my God, has ISRO really thought big? Today we're looking at massively successful missions like Mangalyaan, and we're speaking about Gaganyaan and so on, right? So it's really exciting. We're creating that range of merchandise. There's a lot of other merchandise that's lined up. So super excited. It's a global site. While it's available for anybody to shop in India, it gets shipped anywhere across India. You also have the opportunity to ship anywhere across the world as well. So there will be two variants of the website. If you're visiting from India, you will see the website with the Indian rupees listed there. Place your order and it'll get shipped to your home. If you're placing an order from anywhere else across the world, you will see the price represented in dollars, and it'll get shipped anywhere across the world. So as you see on the screen, these are some of the merchandise that's there. There's t-shirts, scale models, water bottles, mugs, all kinds of things, and a lot more getting added very constantly. So and I really appreciate SSERD for giving us the opportunity to be a partner in this particular event, and I think it's a very meaningful partnership because the right audience is here, and I'm sure you're all excited about the 2-week long event that's happened. You learned a lot, and in case you want to stay inspired, go ahead and place an order here, irrespective of where you're from. So thank you so much, Mrinal, Nikita. You have any questions for me or anything else you'd like me to speak about? I'd love to answer those.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srikanth. I'm sure that our audience would have already wishlisted a few merchandise.
Right,
Mr.
the
Srikanth.
orders have been coming in, and we've been shipping out a lot of orders as well, and we've got amazing feedback from buyers already.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Srikanth, again. And uh, now I would like to for a now I would like to invite Nikita for a brief glimpse of Outreach 2021. So Nikita is the CEO and co-founder of SSCRD. Nikita, please join the screen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrinal. I'm pretty sure the rest of the students are still waiting to know who are the winners. Students, we request you to wait for some more time as soon as I'm done with my um, a small overview of what happened in these whole 14 days, and more importantly the last 7 days in the outreach program is something that I'd like to share. Once that is done, you can know what are the results from your computations as well. So I'll go ahead and start off by telling what exactly happened in these 14 days. And I'm very happy to say that it all started with one of the amazing news, or like, let's say, I would like to reveal one of the very important information for all of you here on this a very special day, that is the last day of our whole outreach program 2021, that we are now you know we have now entered into allyship with the United Nations Women, UN Women, on this special initiative called Generation Equality. So we will be joining our hands with them, and you all know the kind of effort that we have put in, particularly to encourage all our female students, and we will be continuing to do so. And that's exactly what this allyship is all about. We both would be working on that same theme of generation equality. And as I said, uh, we are looking forward to support as many girls as possible with this allyship program again. Being said this, I'd like to give you all a small overview on what happened previous week. So we had 7 different days, 7 different panels on amazing space related topics like space tourism, and then we had privatization of the space industry, opportunities and challenges for women in the space sector. Theory and practical applications go in hand. Role of art and literature in space industry. And we ended with future of space era. How is it going to be? We had amazing speakers from various background coming and giving their perspective about these topics. So we also went to this Outreach 2021 program where it had four different sections. As you all know, we had university students program, and then we had school students program, then we had common public as well as the teachers. So now I'll just run through who all we had. And how amazing it was. So we started with our first panel, which is Why Space, where we had Herb Baker from NASA, we had Nivedita Raju, who's a space lawyer, and then we also had Sujay, who spoke about why space is so important. We started with telling why is it so important for all of us, and how is it playing a major role on all our day-to-day activities. And then our second panel for these outreach program, particularly for university students, was Big Bang to Dark Matter. We wanted to touch upon astronomy and astrophysics related topics, and it was amazing to have Dr. Prachur Shastri, Dr. Devika speak about all these Big Bang to dark matter related topics, and it was wonderfully moderated by Kushi. We had exoplanets and astrobiology, combination of these two wonderful topics which are going to be very important in the future. We had Dr. Chaitanya Giri and Dr. Margarita Safanova speaking about these and sharing such a valuable information. We also had advancements in rocket technology, where we had Gabe from NASA and Dr. CVS Kiran from Skyroot Aerospace speaking about what is going to be the future in the space technology and what are the trends have been in India and outside India. It was very well moderated by our team member Arjun. And then we had satellites for past, present, and future. We were so privileged to have Mr. Raiman, who is also the head of Egyptian Space Agency, and we also had Aravind, who spoke about how satellite data is being used by so many people, and the panel was moderated by Mr. Arun. And then we had entrepreneurial endeavors, which was the last panel for the university students, where we had Martinez, who's also a space entrepreneur. We had Valentine, who's a founder of Ride, one of the amazing startup which has come up to help many, the space, the companies which launch rockets, where they would connect it to people, and they're doing really amazing work. We had Remco, who explained us how to even start off that entrepreneurial journey in case if you are interested. It was again wonderfully moderated by Aaron Vishesh, team member of the Outreach Program 2021. Coming to teachers program, as I mentioned in the very early, this whole program was curated with the support of Ayuka. And we had today Mr. Samir, who explained us the collaboration between us was so wonderful, wherein we started working with planning to execution. Wherein we had Shivani from Ayuka, who took amazing session on neurolinguistic programming and emotional bank balance, which is very important uh, topic for teachers. And then we had hands-on event planning, where we had Atharva Pathak from Ayuka again, where he explained how quickly or how nicely any teachers can organize a few sessions or events in their own institutions and schools. It was wonderful to know how small events or small model making could be very impactful among the students by the teachers. We also had a guest speaker, Dr. Priya Hassan. With this particular speaker came with two references, right? We also had IAU Meet an Astronomer. It is a collaboration of that, and Dr. Priya itself has been helping us since 2017, who came forward and sharing her own experience of how they do the outreach activities for the community, which even the teachers and educators can use. And then we also had one more special day where we explained all the teachers how do we plan a successful event. We explained how one online and one offline event could be done by the teachers right after this whole session. This whole event for teachers was wonderfully moderated by Tejas. And then we had sessions, particularly for common public. We started off with space for day-to-day applications. We wanted to tell very common public how are we using space technology in our day-to-day activities. And it was wonderfully demonstrated by Mahesh, again our own SSERD team member. We also had what we can observe in the sky, because this is very interesting topic which usually we get asked by you know common public, and then we wanted to tell all this information. So we had Arun again, who spoke about. Arun is an astronomer, amateur astronomer who does a lot of stargazing events. So he was the best person whom we can have, whom we had, and who handled this particular topic, what can we observe in the night sky. And this is something that any common person can learn and do it for the sake of learning about space and exploring the sky. We also had one of the uh, delicate topic, I can say, shattering the myths of space and science. And for this we had Mr. Sundaraman. We can't think of any other best person for this. Sundaraman attends every panel discussion about space or eclipse and any kind of space missions that happen on TV news channels. And he's the right person to convey to the common public the technicality of it and the science behind it, and how uh, people should consider these information. And we had Sundar to talk about this, and it was wonderfully shared, what to consider it to be right and what not. This is one of the amazing sessions we had. Please do watch. And going forward to the school section, where every day we had new topic. So we had aeronautics and aviation, which was handled by Shobha. We had wonders of the universe, which was handled by Vishesh and Sneha. Life beyond the Earth, to know if the life is possible on other planets, or if we can go and live on other planets. Right, all these topics is clear, handled by Mahesh. And then we had satellites and application, handled by Sujay. We had journey to space. How do we go to space? What are the trends that has been in recent days, by covered by Deepti. And then we also had careers in space that I personally handled. And we also had Sneha Hublikar, who's also one of the sponsors for the school section, where she comes from Samarth Academy. Samarth Academy provides tuitions to students, particularly online tuitions on physics, math, and science. For those who are finding it hard, they'll make the concept so clear and well. So, with all these events, I'd like to give an overview of what happened. SSERD Outreach 2021 and World Space Week started on October 4th, and it is going to end now in some time. In these 14 days, we had 60 guest speakers. 60 guest speakers on an average of 30 events that happened for World Space Week, university program, school students program, common public, teachers, competitions, all of them together. There were 30 events. And for all these, it was done by 15 size of team. That's SSERD organizing team for this whole outreach 2021. I'm so happy to reveal these statistics. We would also be telling you all how many people have watched, how many people had taken part in our, at the end of the session. We're very happy to say that we did this. If any one of you have missed to watch any of these sessions and you are interested, then it's all available even now. Please visit globalspacenerds.net and you'll find all the details. Every single event that happened are recorded and are stored here, and it will be available for the rest of our lives. So please go around and watch them and learn. And in case if you have any doubts, if you want to ask us anything, please do reach out to us. So we have these two sections. Once you go in here, you'll find all the required details. Being said this, I'd like to thank everyone who were part of this whole Outreach 2021 and World Space Week 2021. Especially, we had speakers from ISRO, NASA, NUSA, Niti Aayog, IAU, Ayuka, the Space Art Foundation, Space Connect, Space Hero, Space Cafe India, Rocket Lab, Axiom Space, iSpace School. We also had WOA, Cosmic Sandbox, Skyroot, Blue Sky Analytics, IAA, and many more. I would like to thank our media partner, Your Story, for covering most of the sessions that were happening during our outreach program on Your Stories um, blogs. And I would also like to thank Samarth Academy for sponsoring the school student section. Last but not the least, how can I not thank GenX Space for being so instrumental in organizing this event virtually and making it enabled for over 5,000 viewers who are watching every day. This whole event couldn't be done without the support of GenX Space. So I'd like to thank GenX Space from the bottom of my heart. At the same time, the space for being one of our supporter, sponsorer, and much more for this event from the beginning. And we would like to wish you all the best for the new launch that you have done. And I'm pretty sure this is the place where all the space enthusiasts will come and buy all their amazing or interesting space related merchandises and goodies. I'd like to thank both Genex Space and D Space again. With this, I'd like to end my part from Outreach 2021 and the whole SSERD team. Thank you so much for joining us in every session. All the speakers out there, all the moderators out there, and a huge thanks to the catalysts who helped us to reach out to more people and the organizing team itself. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Thank you. That was an amazing outreach drive. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Acharya to the screen again so that we could announce the winners of school students section. Mr. Acharya. Mr. Acharya, please join the
Hello.
screen. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again.
My pleasure.
Now, I would like to share the screen. 1 second. And here we have the winners of School Bay Junior Innovator competition, and the winners are
Congratulations, Nikunj Singhal for winning the third prize, Deepa N and Rishi Satyamurthy for winning the second prize, and many congratulations, Aditya Sudarshan for winning the first prize of Junior Innovator in School Bay category. Super.
and congratulations. And the second competition is School Bay's Space Artist competition, and the winners are
Congratulations, B. Dhanalakshmi for the third prize, Arav Ghate for the second prize, and Sapshad Das for the first prize in the Space Artist category in the School Bay. Congratulations very much.
yes. And moving forward to the third competition, we have Science Communicator, and the winners are
Congratulations, Medhansh Garg, Mitali Unawane, and Bharat Ram for winning the third, second, and first prizes respectively in the Science Communicator category. Many congratulations.
and the last competition we have. Oh, I think there is some technical problem. Oh, well, that's it. So sorry. So thank you so much, Shrikant sir, for being here and announcing the winners. And now I would like to tell you about an interesting, like, I would like to tell the audience about an interesting quiz by thespace.com. It's on Instagram where the lucky winner gets a free t-shirt from TheSpace. So the link to participate in present is present on in the description of YouTube stream. So go there and check it out and participate. Yes. Thank you so much, Shrikant sir.
Thank you.
Now we have few announcements to make for the winners and for the participants. I know we are all expecting our e-certificates and rewards, and we are all waiting for it. So yes, but you need to have some patience first. First thing is you can expect the e-certificates anytime within this week, and the same is for Catalyst. So Catalyst, you will also get the certificates in the upcoming week. And second thing is, we know that you are excited about the rewards, but please wait. It will take some time to reach to you. So please have some patience. And the last but not least, we have a Google form for the winners. So winners, make sure to submit it before the deadline. And any kind of failure in submitting all the necessary details will lead to the cancellation of the rewards. So don't forget it. Now that we are wrapping up the Outreach 2021, on behalf of SSERD, I extend the word of thanks. First, I would like to express my gratitude to today's guest speakers, Dr. Anand Sani Narayanan, Mr. Samir Dhurde, and Mr. Sujay Sreedhar, for sharing their valuable time and knowledge with us. Then, my heartfelt thanks to all the speakers and moderators for joining us and enlightening the students with knowledge and experience. We are also grateful to the collaborators and the sponsors, TheSpace and GenXSpace. Also, further, a big thank you to Nikita, Sujay, and SSCRD for giving me this opportunity to unlock new skills. I thank Catalysts, participants, and the outreach team for making this event possible. And lastly, I thank my co host for sharing the screen with me. Thank you so much, and stay connected with SSCRD.